Indeed, what have you to do with me, O Tyre? In Hebrew, Tsur, which means a rock and represents Lucifer, who wants to be worshipped and accepted as the Messiah, while he obviously is not. He would be the false Messiah, the Antichrist. And all of that because of what we read in Ezekiel 28, when Yahweh speaks to Zur or Tyre, and he's actually talking to Satan, because Yahushua is the rock, while Satan wants to be that, so he's just a rock. So obviously Satan is a rock that makes people stumble and fall, while Yahushua is the cornerstone, and for those who don't believe, he becomes also stumbling block. So it says, O Tsur and Sidon. Sidon means hunting or fishing, and I mention both as they appear in the concordance because it represents the harvest, when the field will be as fish taken out of the world, as with a net, so not dying and being transformed in order to be able to be in the new reality, just as a fish would have to go, when it comes out of the water, pretty much dies, but the chosen few will be transformed in order to come out of this reality and continue living. So that would be with fishing, and hunting will be like the many who will be hunted. They will have to die, I repeat, during the harvest, like the grapes becoming wine in Revelation 14. So, O Tsur and Sidon, and all the coasts of Philistia, representing foreigners, meaning all nations other than Israel, Gentiles. So, will you retaliate against me? So Yahweh is saying, indeed, what have you to do with me, O Tsur? So also it mentions three names, three nations that could be connected with the three Satans that I have mentioned at other times. The first Satan was Samael, the second Satan was Lucifer or Hillel in Hebrew, and the third Satan is Azazel, as it appears in Leviticus 16. So, and well, Hillel appears in Isaiah 14. Samael by that name doesn't appear in scriptures. By that name, it does appear through other, I guess, titles. And part of it has to do with the fact that he fell before Yahweh made this earth for humans. So, O Tsur and Sidon, from Samael came death. So hunting could be connected with Samael, just like also Nimrod was called a great hunter, and Nimrod is connected with Samael, that's first Satan. Just like the beast is represented by Nimrod, and the beast is connected with Samael. The second beast, or the false prophet, is connected with Hillel, Lucifer. Just like, for instance, the Pope says to be the representation of Jesus, as they call, and they say that Jesus is the rock. Just like Peter means a rock, and they say that the Pope is the one that comes straight from Peter. So there are several connections there. So Tsur would be connected with Hillel, Sidon would be connected with Samael, and Philistia with Azazel. Interestingly enough, Azazel was thrown, taken out of the land so that the goat for Azazel would take away the sins with it, while the other goat would be killed for the sins, just like Yahushua was killed and Barabbas was left free. And that's why I was saying the connection with Philistia, as in out of the land. So, will you retaliate against me? But if you retaliate against me, swiftly and speedily I will return your retaliation upon your own head. So Yahweh is talking to the three Satans, who are as leaders of the demons, fallen angels, and evil spirits, and how they have fool the nations, so that the nations may come against his people, his true people, and obviously against him. So that's why Yahweh is asking, well, indeed, what have you to do with me, O Tsur and Sidon, and all the coast of Philistia? Will you retaliate against me? But if you retaliate against me swiftly and speedily, I will return your retaliation upon your own head.